You ever walk into a room and just stand there, staring blankly, thinking, now what did I come in here for? Maybe it's your keys, maybe it's your glasses, or maybe it's just a thought you can't quite grab anymore. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And let me tell you right now, it's not just old age. No, there are real reasons this happens, and more importantly, there are real things we can do about it. See, when we cross that golden threshold of 60, something shifts. Sure, we've got the wisdom, the stories, and all those lessons life has taught us. But sometimes, our memory, the very thing that holds those precious life moments, starts to slip. And while a little forgetfulness is normal, certain habits we pick up without even realizing can quietly chip away at our brain health. This isn't about scaring you. This is about empowering you, because you deserve clarity, confidence, and a sharp mind in this chapter of life. So today, we're going to have an honest, heart-to-heart chat about 3 common mistakes that so many of us are making after 60 that could be harming our memory more than we think. And trust me, they're not what you'd expect. Let's start with one that sneaks in under the radar for so many of us, not getting enough quality sleep. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh great, another sleep lecture, hear me out. This one's different. You see, sleep isn't just rest for your body, it's a full-on repair session for your brain. During those deeper stages of sleep, your brain goes to work cleaning out waste, filing away memories, and strengthening connections. It's like tidying up your mental desk so you can think clearer in the morning. But here's the kicker, as we age, our sleep patterns change. We tend to wake up more often during the night, and sometimes we shrug it off, saying, well, that's just how it is now. But consistently getting less than 7 hours of quality, uninterrupted sleep can affect areas of the brain responsible for memory and decision-making. Over time, this creates a fog, a kind of low-level mental clutter that makes it harder to focus, recall names, or even follow conversations. What can help? Simple things, but powerful. Like sticking to a consistent bedtime, making your bedroom a cool, quiet sanctuary, and avoiding screens an hour before bed. Even a short walk in the morning sunshine helps reset your body clock. Remember, sleep isn't a luxury, it's brain maintenance. And we wise elders know better than to skip maintenance, right? Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you even more, eating the wrong kind of comfort food. You know what I'm talking about. The pastries, the chips, the white bread, the ice cream, all those things that just feel good at the end of a long day. And hey, a little treat here and there is fine. Life after 60 should be enjoyed. But when processed, sugary, or high-sodium foods become a daily habit, they can slowly dull our cognitive edge. Here's what the science says, and it's fascinating. These ultra-processed foods can actually create inflammation in the brain, especially in the hippocampus, that's the part responsible for learning and memory. Think of it like trying to have a phone call while someone's running a blender right next to you. That's what chronic inflammation does to your brain's ability to focus and remember. And let's be honest, many of us grew up with food as comfort. It was part of the culture, part of the family, part of our traditions. But times have changed, and our bodies don't process those foods the same way they used to when we were 30. The good news? We don't have to give up flavor or joy. We just need to shift a bit. Adding more leafy greens, berries, nuts, and omega-3s, that's not a punishment, that's brain fuel. And if you're thinking, but I don't have time to cook all that, remember, simple is better. A bowl of oatmeal with blueberries, a handful of walnuts, a spinach omelet, these are small changes that build up to big results. And let me pause for just a second and say this, if you're hearing this and feeling a little overwhelmed, don't be hard on yourself. You've made it this far with strength, resilience, and a heart full of experience. This isn't about guilt, it's about choosing a better path now, for the sharp, vibrant future you still deserve. Which brings me to something a little more emotional, but just as important, something we often don't talk about enough in the world of senior health. I'm talking about social isolation. It's more dangerous to your brain than you might think. Now, I know, after 60, life slows down. Friends move away, families get busy, and sometimes, it's just easier to keep to yourself. But when we start going days, even weeks, without meaningful conversation or connection, it affects our brain. Neuroscience backs this up. The parts of the brain that help us process language, memory, even empathy, they all light up when we interact with others. Without that stimulation, it's like a garden that doesn't get watered. Things start to wilt. And no, scrolling on Facebook or watching the news doesn't count. What we need is real connection. Phone calls, coffee chats, walks with neighbors, volunteering, even just getting out to the store and striking up a conversation with someone in line. Human connection keeps our minds young, sharp, and emotionally full. There's a reason they say loneliness can be as dangerous as smoking. We weren't meant to go through this stage of life alone. You're not meant to be alone. You carry elderly wisdom, stories that need to be shared, laughter that needs to be heard. You're part of a community, and when you reach out, not only are you helping yourself, you're likely making someone else's day too. Now that we've talked about how lack of sleep, poor food choices, and social isolation can chip away at our memory, let's keep this momentum going. Because there's still one more major mistake many people over 60 are making, and this one's been hiding in plain sight. And that last mistake? It's one most people don't even realize they're making. It doesn't come in a bottle, it's not hiding in your fridge, and you can't see it in the mirror. But it's just as damaging to your memory as poor sleep or bad food. I'm talking about not challenging your brain regularly. Now, I know what some folks might be thinking. I'm retired. I've earned the right to relax. I don't need to go learning new things at my age. And yes, rest is a beautiful thing. You deserve peace after a lifetime of working, raising a family, and navigating the ups and downs of life. But peace doesn't have to mean passive. The brain is like a muscle, and just like muscles shrink when we stop using them, the brain can too. It's called cognitive decline, and it's not just a scary term, it's real. When we stop stimulating our minds with new challenges, problem solving, creativity, or even just curiosity, the brain slowly stops making new connections. But when we stay mentally active, our brain keeps growing, yes, even after 60. In fact, science now tells us that neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire and grow, lasts into our 70s, 80s, and even 90s. How incredible is that? So what can we do? The good news is, it's not about going back to school or solving complicated math problems. It's about staying curious. Learning a new recipe, trying a new card game, picking up a new hobby, even listening to music you've never heard before, it all counts. Ever tried painting? Playing a musical instrument? Even doing crosswords, Sudoku, or learning a few words in another language, these are powerful memory protectors. And here's something especially powerful for brain health: storytelling. Sharing your stories, with grandkids, with friends, even writing them down, forces the brain to retrieve, organize, and communicate memories. It's exercise for the mind. Plus, those stories? They're treasures. You carry senior wisdom that the world needs. When you share it, not only are you helping your memory, you're passing on something that lives long after you. Let me ask you, when was the last time you did something for the first time? It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be new. Because every time you step outside your comfort zone, even just a little, your brain lights up like a sparkler. And that light helps you stay sharp, alert, and full of life. Now, all these things, sleep, food, connection, mental stimulation, they work together like the gears in a clock. But there's one more thing that often goes unnoticed, and it plays a sneaky role in memory decline. And that is chronic stress. Stress is one of those silent memory thieves. You don't always feel it. Sometimes it hides in the shoulders, in a clenched jaw, and restless thoughts before bed. But your brain feels it. Especially the part that helps with memory, the hippocampus. When we're under constant stress, our brain produces more cortisol, a hormone that in small doses is fine, but in large amounts becomes toxic for brain cells. The problem is, many of us have carried stress around for decades: jobs, kids, bills, health issues, and now in this chapter of life, we sometimes don't know how to put it down. But we can. And we must. You don't need a yoga mat or meditation retreat to reduce stress, though those are nice, too. Sometimes it's just about slowing down. Sitting with your morning coffee and breathing deep. Turning off the news for a while. Listening to soft music. Spending time in nature. Laughing with friends. Even prayer or gratitude journaling can bring the nervous system back into calm. And here's something many people overlook: forgiveness. Not just for others, but for yourself. Letting go of past mistakes, old regrets, people who hurt you. It may not seem like it's tied to memory, but it is. Emotional burdens weigh down the mind, leaving less room for clarity and focus. When we let go, the fog lifts. You deserve lightness. You deserve joy. You've earned it. Healthy aging isn't just about your heart, or your bones, or your cholesterol. It's about your spirit, your brain, your peace. One of the greatest gifts of life after 60 is perspective. We've seen enough to know what really matters. We don't need to prove anything anymore. We don't need to hustle. But we do need to take care of this incredible machine between our ears, because it holds every memory, every laugh, every lesson we've ever learned. And there's still more life ahead. More to remember. More to make memories of. It's never too late to start feeding your brain what it needs to thrive. Next, let's talk about a simple but often overlooked daily habit that can either protect your memory or quietly steal it away over time. It's something we all do, multiple times a day, without thinking twice. And that simple habit? It's multitasking, something so many of us do without realizing it, especially in today's always-on world. But here's the truth: constantly juggling tasks doesn't make us more productive. In fact, it's quietly harming our brain's ability to store and recall memories. Now, you might be thinking, but I've always done a dozen things at once: raising kids, running a household, helping grandkids. It's just how life works. And that's completely true. Many of us spent decades doing just that. But what worked in our 30s or 40s doesn't always work for us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. Here's what the neuroscience says: the brain isn't actually built to focus on more than one complex task at a time. When we switch between activities, like checking our phone while trying to follow a conversation, or watching TV while sorting through bills, we're not actually doing both. We're rapidly shifting our attention back and forth. That process is called task switching, and it puts a lot of strain on our working memory. Over time, this kind of constant switching creates a sense of mental fatigue, even if we haven't done much. It leaves us scattered, forgetful, and more likely to lose track of thoughts, names, even important tasks. And worse? It can feel like brain fog, that frustrating, fuzzy feeling where things just don't quite click. So what can we do? The answer is surprisingly gentle: focus on doing one thing at a time. If you're enjoying a meal, just enjoy the meal. If you're talking to a friend, give them your full attention. Reading the paper? Let yourself read, not half read while checking email or scrolling the phone. These quiet moments of presence help retrain the brain to focus deeply, which actually strengthens memory over time. It's not about doing less, it's about being fully present in what you're doing. And I'll tell you, there's a real kind of peace in that. A return to simplicity. A slowing down that actually lifts you up. This brings us to something deeply connected to that idea of being present, and it's something we don't talk about nearly enough when we talk about senior wellness and healthy aging. And that is the role of meaning and purpose in memory. Now I know, that may sound philosophical, but stay with me, it's more powerful than it sounds. You see, memory doesn't just live in the brain. It lives in the heart, too. When we feel connected to something bigger than ourselves, a purpose, a passion, a reason to get up in the morning, our minds stay sharper. Studies have shown that older adults who feel a sense of purpose experience better cognitive health than those who feel adrift. And here's the beauty of life after 60, we get to choose what purpose looks like for us now. It doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. Sometimes, it's the little things: tending a garden, mentoring a young person, caring for a pet, writing a letter to someone who needs encouragement. Purpose can be found in creating beauty, helping others, continuing to learn, or simply being the stable, loving presence in someone else's life. Wise elders, like yourself, carry decades of life experience. And when you pour that into something, even something small, the mind lights up with meaning. Purpose creates routine. Routine creates clarity. Clarity strengthens memory. And suddenly, what once felt foggy begins to feel grounded again. Now let's not forget something else that goes hand in hand with memory and purpose, and that's movement. Not hardcore gym workouts or running marathons, but just daily, gentle movement. Walking. Stretching. Dancing in your kitchen. A little Tai Chi in the morning light. Movement increases blood flow to the brain. It brings oxygen, nutrients, and stimulation to areas responsible for memory and thinking. Even a simple 15-minute walk each day can make a dramatic difference in how clearly we think and how well we remember. And don't underestimate the power of walking with a friend either. You get the brain-boosting benefits of movement and the joy of conversation. That's senior wellness at its best: body, mind, and soul in harmony. I want you to know, if you've been struggling with memory lately, forgetting names, misplacing things, feeling mentally scattered, you're not broken. You're not alone. And you're certainly not helpless. The brain is incredibly resilient. And the moment you begin to change your daily habits, even in the smallest ways, you begin the process of healing and strengthening your memory. Let's take a deep breath together, right now. In and out. That breath? It's a reset. A reminder that you are still in control of your life, your mind, and your future. You are a wise elder, and your journey doesn't end at 60. In many ways, it begins again. We've covered so much already: the impact of sleep, food, isolation, mental challenge, stress, multitasking, purpose, and movement. These are not just senior health tips, they are gifts you can give yourself. And each one can help protect that beautiful memory of yours. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, one more mistake many of us make without realizing it. It's subtle, but it can have a powerful effect on how your brain ages. Let's talk about that next. And that last mistake, the one that sneaks into our lives without warning, is believing that memory loss is just a normal part of aging, and that nothing can be done about it. Let's pause for a moment here. Because this belief? It's powerful. And dangerous. It tricks us into giving up. Into thinking that forgetfulness is just the price we pay for getting older. Into thinking that our sharpness, our clarity, our independence are all behind us. But that couldn't be further from the truth. You see, there's a world of difference between normal age-related memory slips, like misplacing your glasses or forgetting a name now and then, and real cognitive decline. And more importantly, there's so much we can do to slow, prevent, and even improve memory function well into our 70s, 80s, and beyond. That belief, the one that says it's too late for me, is the most harmful mistake of all. Because the moment you stop believing in your own ability to grow, your brain begins to believe it too. But the truth is, your brain is still listening. Still learning. Still adapting. Even now. This chapter of life is not about fading away. It's about rising into your wisdom. About becoming more fully yourself than ever before. About using your story, your experience, your voice, to live with purpose and joy. And the mind? It comes along for that ride. Now, let's take a breath together. Because what we've talked about today isn't just about avoiding mistakes. It's about reclaiming something. Reclaiming your confidence. Reclaiming your clarity. Reclaiming the belief that your mind can still be strong, sharp, and full of life, not despite your age, but because of it. You've spent a lifetime collecting stories, solving problems, raising families, caring for others, working hard, surviving loss, loving deeply. That kind of living doesn't disappear. It lives in your brain, in your heart, in your spirit. You are a living library of wisdom. a walking, breathing collection of stories and strength. And right now, today, is the perfect time to take one small step toward protecting that treasure. Whether it's getting to bed 30 minutes earlier, choosing water over soda, taking a short walk, calling an old friend, trying a crossword puzzle, journaling your thoughts, or simply choosing to slow down and be present, every step counts. You don't have to do it all at once. Start small. Let your healthy aging journey be gentle and full of grace. No pressure. Just presence. Just progress. And remember, memory is more than facts and figures. It's the songs you remember, the smell of your mother's kitchen, the name of your first dog, the way the sun felt on your face that summer in 1963. It's all still there. And with love, care, and intention, you can keep it alive. You are not losing your memory. You are learning how to care for it. Like a garden that needs tending. Like a fire that needs gentle stoking. With time and patience, it blooms again. So let me ask you, friend, what's one memory you want to hold on to forever? Maybe share it in the comments. I'd love to read it. Let's build a little memory garden together. You might be surprised how many others feel just like you, and how powerful your story could be to someone else. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more wise elders like yourself discover this content. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the little bell so you don't miss out on more senior life tips, brain health advice, and uplifting messages just like this. Here on this channel, we believe in life after 60. We believe in senior wellness and elderly wisdom and living with purpose and peace. And most of all, we believe in you. So stay strong, stay curious, and above all, stay kind to yourself. Because aging isn't the end of something. It's the beginning of something truly beautiful. You've still got so much living and remembering left to do.